Welcome everybody to the Forge League Colt Cup Heat 2. What's going on, guys? I'm Full Frontage, and alongside me, back from Germany, doing live gaming. On day one, they beat Tribe. They beat them 3-0 the first time that they met, which is pretty insane, especially a team like Tribe. So Nova played absolutely dominant in Heat 1, and I expect them to keep it up going into Heat 2. I mean, Heat 1 was absolutely insane. The move meter was almost on point. It was 3 out of 4 games correct. So Heat 1 was pretty awesome. How was Germany, by the way?
Germany was incredible. It was history. It was amazing out there. It was a ton of fun. But I am so excited here for Heat 2.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do have 3 teams that will not be able to be playing here. So we're going to be jumping in Apollo versus Hammer. But I'm really excited to see how Apollo and Hammer go against each other.
Yeah, those two teams were pretty solid in Heat 1. We saw them perform probably not to where they wanted to, but they were performing exceptionally well. They made their games really close. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top. Last Heat, Hammers played against Cream Esports, which was a really close match. But let's take a look at the matchups on screen right now. So it's going to be Hammers versus Apollo, like we had said. Here are the teams coming up. For Team Apollo, we got Captain Apollo, Tonamek, Nez, Slow OP, MVP Slow, and for Hammers, we have Raven, Pleb, Money Capital, Big Hammer, and Louis. Some big names from both teams here.
Yeah, I do see a lot of big names on both teams, and honestly, looking at the trophy ranges of everybody on both teams, they seem almost evenly matched. I'm excited to see what's going to happen between the two of them. I remember that in the very beginning here when we had the Forge 4, we were trying to find out who that was. Team Apollo was definitely the team that everybody was rooting for.
Yep.
So can Apollo beat out Hammer and be moving on to the next rounds? I don't know. I'm hoping so. In my heart, since I went to Germany, they're definitely still the team that I'm rooting for.
Yeah, Apollo's is the streamer team, with Captain Apollo being the team's streamer, and then Raven of 8 being Hammer's team captain. So these guys, as you said, they're really close in trophy range. We're going to talk a little bit about the map rotation that we have today. So it's going to be Gem Grab is the first map, Brawl Ball is going to be the second map, Heist is going to be the third, game mode, Bounty is going to be the fourth game mode, and then Gem Grab will be the decider match. So talking about the maps that we have, the first one is going to be Stone Fort for Gem Grab, Triple Dribble for Brawl Ball, Bridge Too Far for Heist, Snake Prairie, which is one of my favorite bounty maps, and then Deep Siege for the tiebreaker. And just a reminder, this is elimination week, so the points are very crucial in today's games. So next week, the top 4 in points will move on to the championship. We'll recap all the points at the end of the cast, so you guys know who's exactly moving on to the championships next week.
Absolutely. And talking about those different game modes and the different maps, something really interesting out of all those maps there was actually the Bridge Too Far. That's one of the brand new maps that Supercell just put into the game. And it's very unique for Heist because it's super open. It's very favorable to a lot of the long-range brawlers, and we don't really get to see that too often in Heist. So since the last time that we actually saw them fighting it out, I think we're going to see a shift in meta. I think we're going to see a lot of new brawlers. It's going to be a lot more refreshing, especially when it comes to this specific map here, Bridge Too Far. I'm really excited specifically for that one.
Yeah, the Supercell did add in a few new maps in this last round of balances and updates. They kind of just threw them in there and was like, whoa, new maps, what? It was pretty cool. They showcased a few of them, but these new maps are definitely going to be fun and exciting to see how it plays out in competition. And also, just a quick note, Gene will not be used today. He's going to be banned for Heat 2 entirely. So if you guys were looking for some awesome pro Gene gameplay, you won't see it here today, unfortunately.
Not yet. Honestly,
not yet.
How do you feel about Gene? Do you have him yet?
I did unlock him. I bought him in the shop, of course. I couldn't pass it up. I couldn't pass it up.
Pay to win.
I know. I wanted to get him from the lunar offer, but so I bought that first, just to see if I could get really lucky and get him from a chest, but I didn't. So I ended up buying him from the shop. But I think he's pretty balanced right now. If anything, he might be slightly underpowered. He's definitely not that good on heist. Like even if he was be able to use today, we wouldn't see him on heist. He's really not that good because he doesn't have that much control, and typically in a heist composition you're going to be going against like a bull, and so you already can't use your ultimate on a bull because you can't really pull heavy damage units closer to you.
Yeah,
because you're just going to get shredded. So Gene definitely not viable on heist. Haven't really tried him in bounty. I think he's going to be most viable on gem grab. I think
definitely.
Yeah,
and I think we could see some interesting plays in Brawl Ball.
Yes, Brawl Ball.
Time's gonna tell, and I think it's gonna depend on the balance of Gene and also, of course, like the teammates that he's with. Because, like you said, he's a very supportive brawler. It's gonna depend. Like he can't pull people, he can't pull tanks, and he pulls a bull in, he's dead. He's actually
gone.
The enemy team out. So
yeah.
I think it's good. We're giving people a little bit more time to figure out how Gene works before we actually put him, into this tournament.
Yeah, where he just came out yesterday. I think that's one of the smartest things to do, especially in a competitive game, where if a new hero or champion, or in this case brawler, is released, you don't really want to have the teams just be like, oh, good luck playing him, because then you don't know how it works. You can't really figure it out, and then it kind of hinders the competition a little bit. So I think it was a great call to have Gene removed from play today, and we're still gonna see that old fancy action that we're used to seeing on the Forge League.
Absolutely. And talking a little bit more about these maps, you said Snake Prairie was your favorite map. I'm inclined to agree with you. I think with the amount of grass, it's very unique to, almost any other map you see. Personally, I'd love to see more maps with a lot of grass like Snake Prairie. One interesting thought about Snake Prairie, though, is that with the last balance changes, they actually nerfed grass. So grass is not growing back at all anymore. So do you think that's going to affect Snake Prairie in any way?
I think it's going to definitely change it a little bit. And even with the bow nerf to his star power, the vision that he has is now he doesn't have as much of it. I think it's 4 tiles now. Is that correct?
It went from 6 to 4.
6, yeah.
It was a really big nerf to his star power.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be really interesting because I think Bo is probably one of the most utilized brawlers on this map.
You know what? Bo really was, because Bo's all about that. Hold on. Bo is all about that. Vision in the grass, and so having that, having so much grass on that map, it definitely made him stronger. With that nerf incoming, with the nerf of the grass, I don't know how good Bo is going to be. I don't know if we're even going to see Bo played on any of these maps at all.
Yeah, he might not be used, especially with his star power nerf coming in. Just not being able to see like as far. I think it's going to change a little bit, and especially like you said, with the grass not spawning in anymore, I think that's going to be a huge game changer for Bo, because I felt like Bo was really utilized in this map because of the element of surprise and having as much grass up as possible for Bo to have the vision, and then Bo to be able to just throw mines like sneakily and be able to get through, because if he gets all 3 of his arrows on and kind of funnels them to where his mines are, that's game changing. But with the limited amount of grass, I don't think that's going to be as effective of a strategy anymore.
You know what? I agree with you. I have a question, though. You were there for Heat 1. Did you see any brawlers that were used a lot, like across the board? Was there any like super popular brawlers from Heat 1?
One of the things that stands out to me from Heat 1 was the fact that Pam was banned so much on the heist map. I can't remember what it was. I'd have to double check. But, I mean, just the fact that Pam was banned so much across Gem Grab, Brawl Ball. Sometimes she was banned in Brawl Ball, but more importantly on Heist.
Yeah.
I think that was huge. And then I think probably the most utilized brawler was Colt. He was used a lot on the Brawl Ball map. He is obviously a lot better on Heist right now.
Yeah.
And he was used a decent amount in Gem Grab. It was kind of between him and Leon on Gem Grab. So I think Colt was probably one of the most used brawlers in Heat 1. And Pam was the most banned brawler.
Colt, yeah, let's talk about both of them. So Colt is great but it's only if you're really good at hitting shots.
Yes.
And also at the same time, if the enemy is maybe not the best at juking, because even if you're really good at hitting shots, but you come against a opponent that is 100% unpredictable, it's still gonna be really hard for you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the best Colt in the world. Like, if your opponent is super unpredictable, you're gonna be having a problem with Colt. But if you are hitting those shots, that man does just pure damage. So it really makes sense that we would see a lot of Colt. Same thing with Leon. Leon does a ton of damage even after his nerf. And then talking about Pam. When I was in Germany competing, we only saw Pam like everywhere. Pam was used so much. Like, whoever was able to pick Pam first, like, they were at a big advantage. It was very interesting because when we saw the last balance changes, Pam, I believe, got a buff, and if she didn't get a buff, she just wasn't touched, and people were shocked by that because she was already so strong.
Yeah, I think she got, I think it was like a 2% damage buff, maybe. I think it was like a really small buff. I'd have to check the balances. Maybe someone in chat knows right off the top of their heads. But I think even if Pam, like you said, if Pam wasn't touched or she got a slight, I don't think she got nerfed in any way. It was either a slight buff or a no touch at all. But either way, like you said, she was used quite a bit, and Heat 1 was about the same time that that you guys were playing in Germany. So the fact that we saw that across 2 tournaments, that she was either banned or used whenever she wasn't banned, I think says something about Pam in the competitive meta across multiple game modes.
Yeah, it says a lot. And on top of that, I don't even necessarily, doesn't even have to be competitive. I think she's just super viable.
Yeah.
Pretty much anywhere you put her. Like, we even saw Pam being used in Bounty. We actually saw that here in the Forged 4.
Yeah.
So Pam is strong. I'm interested to see, are we going to be seeing Pam banned a lot? Are we going to be seeing Pam picked a lot? Like, is there going to be a big focus on Pam still for this week? I don't think much has changed, so I think probably yes. I think she probably will still be banned a lot.
Yeah, definitely. The bans will be no surprise if we see her getting banned quite a bit. And even if we see her getting used quite a bit, there's definitely no surprise if... Like, Pam is undoubtedly probably one of the top brawlers in the game.
100%. I agree with you. And an indirect consequence of that is Crow is not been seen almost anywhere, not only in these tournaments, not only in Germany, but also on ladder. You really just don't see Crows being played a lot. And one of the big reasons, it's not 100%, but one of the huge reasons is actually Pam, because Pam counters Crow really well because of the amount of chip damage she does due to his low HP, and that her star power, which heals her and everybody around her, can counter Crow's poison. So, you know, her being buffed is an indirect consequence of why we don't see Crow a lot. You know, in earlier metas, we used to see Crow dominating, and now you just don't see Crow at all. I think that's a little bit unfortunate. I really personally love Crow. I don't know about you, but I love Crow.
Crow is my favorite. The Phoenix Crow skin is definitely one of my favorite skins in the game, hands down.
Yeah. Super cool skin, super cool brawler. I hate playing against him.
Oh yeah, it's so annoying to play against. Yeah.
It's kind of a love-hate with that, because you love playing him, but you don't love playing against him. So, but I do think Pam needs a nerf, not just for Crow, but just for across the board, just because of how much of a focus we're seeing her here. Honestly, I can't really think of any other brawler that needs a nerf. Maybe Leon still needs a slight nerf. I don't know. How do you feel about Leon? Do you think he needs a nerf?
I feel like Leon's I haven't seen him be as dominant recently in competitive and on ladder. So I think he's in an okay spot right now. I think if other brawlers got a little bit of a buff that could counter him, then...
Yeah, I don't know. I think we need to see him played a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But my initial thought is, when we were in Germany, we really didn't see Leon played that much. I don't know. Did you see Leon played very much in Heat 1?
He was more commonly used in Gem Grab. He wasn't, and sometimes Bounty.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know I think he might still need like a slight adjustment. But I wonder if just nerfing a few brawlers would actually... Well, actually, I don't know, because once we nerf Pam, that could be an indirect consequence to Leon. I don't know. I don't know. I think Leon probably needs a nerf. Let's just say Leon needs a nerf.
It might need a smaller one. Yeah, I think if... I think it's going to be interesting to see how Gene affects the meta and how he shakes it up, because he could possibly be a nerf to Leon with his pull, because if you see where the Leon is and you can grab him even if he's in his ultimate and he's invisible, like Leon will then be visible for the entire team while he's getting pulled in. Yeah. And the team will just be able to shred him, and that'll essentially negate his ultimate. So if you can spot the Leon with a Gene in your comp, I think that's going to be super key.
I agree with you. There could be a few risks running into that. For example, if you do miss your pull, it's super devastating for Gene. It's one of the downsides of Gene, actually. I don't know how they're going to fix that. That's a huge downside to him. Because, for example, his counterpart is Tara. And Tara, it's very, very hard to miss a Tara super compared to a Gene super.
Yes,
so
for sure.
Gene, so if that Leon pops his invis, it happens, for example, you miscalculate, you miss your super. Now you don't have a super, and you are weaker as far as damage and health goes to the Leon, and Leon's moving around super fast. But I agree, if you have good teammates, if you have quick, hand-eye coordination, you can grab him, you can negate his invis. That could definitely be a really cool feature. I don't know if I think Gene might still need a buff though, despite where he's at. I know you think he's balanced, and I think I agree, but I think he still might also need a little bit more something.
One of the things I was thinking for buff, because I was trying to think of stuff as I was playing him, just kind of like, it's like, okay, he seems balanced, but what could he use if he was to get buffed? I think his attack could regen a little bit faster.
Yeah, okay, so he's doing what? I think 1,500 damage right now? 1,500 or 1,400 damage up close?
I think I have him at rank 5 right now, and he does 1,200.
Okay, so I think
I think it's 1,450 or 1,500.
Yeah, I think let's say it's 1,500. That's around the damage of a Brock shot, I believe. So that's actually not too bad of a damage. I'm interested. Maybe he does need a damage buff. What do you think about his star power though? Because his star power seems uninspired to me. It's he's standing around his teammates, and every second he's healing everybody for 100 health. 100 health is just not very much. And it doesn't seem like it's really, I don't know, I don't really like it. It doesn't seem to really fit Gene. I don't know. Maybe the thought is, well, he's a super supportive brawler. He's in the back chip damaging people. He's in the back pulling people at certain times. So he's in the back slowly healing his teammates. I don't know. How do you feel about the star power?
I wasn't too, like you said, I wasn't too appealed from the star power. I think it could be something different. And where Gene to me is like the magic brawler, I think it would be cool to, like, maybe when he activates his ultimate, if it gives like a slight speed buff or a slight damage buff to your teammates. So only when his ultimate is activated, because then it pulls them in, and that way it kind of can break a team fight. There are no brawlers that really break up a team fight. They're more that just like create a team fight to happen. Because where if you can get someone in and like the team has a damage buff, then all of a sudden your teammates, if you're not the one getting pulled, you're like, okay, they just activated their ult, they have a damage buff, we need to back off a little bit. So,
I agree. I really like that thought. I think no matter what it is, it has to be something supportive to the team.
Yes.
As he is a very like supportive brawler, like you said.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think it could be anything less of that. And like you said, 100 HP really isn't that game-changing. In his attack, like when it hits its maximum range, it bursts out, kind of like it would spread with like a Leon or a bow shot if you angled it correctly. It just spreads out like that. But yeah, I don't think like you said, the 100 HP is kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, like I said, it was uninspired, and what I mean by that is that we have a lot of like kind of healing, star powers. It didn't seem unique enough. I liked the thought that you said about giving extra, damage to your teammates, because we haven't seen something like that before. We haven't seen a brawler that actively is supporting, their teammates in a damage buff. We've seen Frank have his own, star power of being able to do more damage. We've seen Bull being able to have a faster reload speed, which is, it affects the DPS, not necessarily the damage itself. So having a team-wide, damage buff, I think that'd be really cool. I think it'd be way cooler than 100 HP a second, which this is kind of boring to me. It's boring. I don't like. So personally, for me, I think that'd be a great change. I think he is balanced, like you said, but I think he's on the lower end of balance. Like he needs a little bit more something, and I think changing that star power might be the key for him.
Yeah, the only thing is how long should the damage buff be? I think like 5 seconds. I don't know if that's too much. But,
yeah, maybe something like it can't be too long. We don't want it to be too OP.
Because that would. Yeah, and I think speed buff. I think damage buff is better. Because if you give your entire team a speed buff, then the point of him kind of like breaking up the team fight really doesn't do it justice, because then it encourages the team to push against the other team.
Yeah, imagine a Leon in his super and having his star power of extra speed plus having that
Gene.
That would be ridiculous. I would absolutely be ridiculous.
That would be insane. Yeah,
so
no speed buff.
Have this first match coming up here of Apollo versus Hammer Esports.
Yep.
You've seen them both in action. Who are you guessing is going to be taking home the victory as far as, between the two of these teams go?
Honestly, based on Heat 1 performance, I'm going to have to go with Hammers. They did lose their match against Cream, but it was 3-2. They were down 2-0, and they almost got the reverse sweep. The last match on Gem Grab was so close. I think Hammers is hungry to redeem themselves a little bit in this situation and put themselves in a top 4 spot. So I'm going to have to go with Hammers on this one. I think they're ready for the win.
Yeah, and I mean, Hammers is actually part of an actual esport, whereas Apollo's team is, kind of like that ragtag group of people coming together with a streamer or influencer, to try to take home the money. So it's definitely a little bit stacked against Apollo, just because we have an entire esport behind, Raven's team here. But having not seen either of these teams, I am going to be going for Apollo, just because they got a soft spot in my heart from the Forged 4.
All right, we're getting into it. Soft spot from the Forged 4. So Stonefort on Gem Grab is going to be the first one, and it looks like Hammers is in great control of this so far. Paco, the Shelly, and the Frank coming through. Frank does get his ultimate on the left-hand side for Primo. Paco's going to be rolling in here, and that Primo is going down.
And that was great, because the thing is with Frank, you cannot let those tanks get up close to you. So the fact that he's keeping his distance on that Primo, he actually got the stun on the Primo. There goes down the damage. The Primo's going to be taken down. Great job going out there by Team Raven.
Yeah, I mean, Frank is just putting work onto this Primo right now. Like you said, you can't let the tanks get too close, because they're going to be soaking a lot of the damage, and especially with the composition that Apollo has, they're going to be looking to get that constant poke damage. And Rico right there just gets absolutely blasted from Shelly behind, sneaking back, and Primo is just focused onto this Frank right now, and it looks like Hammers is going to be able to take this first match.
Yeah, it just wasn't enough time for them to come back from that. And honestly, the MVP here should be Pleb, because Pleb was putting out so much damage like we're seeing there. That was a great job by that Frank. It really comes down to, when you're playing Frank, can you keep your distance from the enemy tanks? Because if they get up to you, you're basically negated. You're going to be doing nothing.
Yep.
He was able to land stun after stun, and that's what really led a victory for them.
Yeah, Hammers had complete control of that, and like you said, the Frank getting the stuns consistently, getting that damage output, he was in fact the MVP of the match right there. So really great job from Pleb on the Frank, just keeping everything back, keeping complete control of that situation. And also, just to inform you guys, before we jump into match 2, we are going to be having another Razor Hammerhead giveaway that is coming up to you guys. So there it is on screen right now, the Hammerhead. Special thanks to Razor. All you guys have to do is follow the Forge League on Twitter, follow Razor on Twitter, tweet out your predictions for who's going to win today, and get involved in the action on Twitter, and of course, stay here on Omelet Arcade to see it all go down.
You know what? My prediction, I'm going to be wild here. I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm saying Apollo is taking this whole thing home. I want my underdog winning it. I want them going against the odds, taking the full sweep, taking everything home.
Okay.
I put my faith in them. So, Apollo, don't let me down.
Ooh, I like it. Going for the underdog.
Yeah, we'll see, man. You got to have faith sometimes. But in this match 2 here, we're going to be seeing Triple Dribble on Brawl Ball. what? I don't know. I've seen a lot of Frank and Triple Dribble before. Do you think they're going to be trying to get that Frank out of the way? Like, what are you thinking as far as brawlers goes for this map?
I mean, honestly, based on the performance that Pleb just had on Frank, I would be, if I was Apollo's team, I think I'd be pretty scared to let Pleb have access to that Frank on Brawl Ball Triple Dribble. Like, that's...
I agree.
Yeah.
He was doing some big work there. I think their #1 focus probably should be to ban a Frank. Frank can definitely be, there's only certain maps Frank can really rock in Brawl Ball, and I think this is one of the maps he could actually do pretty good in. So getting that Frank out of the way might be great for Apollo's team here. You know, Hammer was able to take the first win here. I'm hoping Apollo's team can bring it back in this Brawl Ball.
And so Apollo's team opts to not ban at all.
Interesting move. And again, we were just talking about that. It was really keep them to not let them have that Frank. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go now without having any bans at all. I really think they should have taken a ban there.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting strategy because maybe they don't want to take the Frank out of the equation. It's very possible.
Maybe they want to be taking the Frank on for themselves, you know?
Yeah.
That's definitely a viable option with this map. I mean, you know, Frank is a very strong brawler. He is counterable, though, especially with someone like a Shelly or even with Tara's super, for example. Yeah. And Shelly can really be strong on Triple Dribble as well. So I think this might be a little bit more risky of a map to play a Frank because, you know, of the counters. But again, just like the last with the gem grab match, it came down to how effective Frank is with hiding the tanks.
Yeah, so here we go, getting into it. Jumped in a little bit too late, but Hammer's already got a score. Pleb on the Primo. So it's looking like Rico, Daryl, and Primo going up against Spike, Primo, and Nita.
Yes, definitely. They're down a little bit for Team Apollo, but I think they can bring it back, especially now. There goes the Nita Bear, throwing it back. Interesting choice on the Bear there.
Yeah, this play was seen a lot last week, where a lot of the Nitas that were being played on Brawl Ball threw the Bear back, just so they could have a little bit time to get more damage and build up their second Bear, so it's like having a longer fourth teammate. It was really interesting play.
That's an interesting play. I've actually never seen that before. So that was a great move by that Nita. I've never, you know, it really depends. A good Nita comes down to how well can they use that Bear. So trying to stack up their Bear there, that's a pretty cool idea. Here comes the Bear soaking up the damage for him. Pleb going down. Captain Apollo trying to walk the ball in. Can he make it in?
Oh,
not quite.
Money Capital with the roll with the Daryl.
Incredibly close there.
That was a great stop from Daryl.
Great play by the Daryl. Daryl sitting at 224 HP, going down, trying to roll in, not quite make it. Pleb rolling the ball in. Great move by Pleb.
Pleb with the goal. He got the angle just perfectly in there to get the score. And Hammers is going to take it, and they will go up 2-0 over Team Apollo. Very well played.
Yeah, nobody here took a Frank. We saw a lot of Primo, and Primo is great for that Brawl Ball map because of how tanky he is, and him being able to just kind of soak up that damage and walk the ball in. I'm surprised, though, because if the Frank played the same he did in the last match, he could have countered the other Primo even better, in my opinion. Even more than he did, in my opinion. But, you know, it is what it is. Moving on to the third match here, we're going to see that very interesting map, Bridge Too Far on Heist.
Yeah, so this is the newest map that was introduced into the game, one of the newer ones. So Heist is arguably one of my favorite game modes, probably
really?
Next to Gem Grab, yeah.
I hate Heist.
Really?
I hate it.
Heist is so interesting because there were a couple times last week in Heat 1 where the matches were so close to each other that it was literally down to a wire. I think there was 2 different games that the losing team's safe had less than 10% HP.
Wow. Okay, I can see where that can be, but playing on Heist, though,
playing Heist
be very nerve-wracking. I think that's kind of why I like this Bridge Too Far map, because it really switches things up for Heist, you know, and I like that. I like when we see things get a fresh take on them, especially with some of the newer Heist maps where the safes aren't even in the middle, they're on the side. I think that was a really cool call to put them on the sides instead of the middle.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I think that this was the first map to do it, correct?
Oh no, this map, they are still both in the middle. This map is just incredibly open.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're going to be seeing a lot less of focus on people like Bull. If there's a Bull in here, I'm going to be surprised, honestly, because of how open it is from the start. This Bull is going to have godlike juking to be able to be, viable on this map. I think we could see people get away with a Daryl potentially, just because he can farm that super up without having to hit anybody. But long range, I think, are going to be key here. Long and medium.
Yes.
How open it is.
Yeah, I think Colt is probably one of the best brawlers for Heist right now.
Yeah, Colt's more of that like medium range brawler, but again, what makes Colt great on this map is because it's not just that it's open, it's that there's kind of like hallways. There's like a left, middle, and right side, and that's great for Colt because it makes it only a certain amount of space that a brawler can actually walk, which makes it a lot easier for him to be able to hit his shots.
Yeah, and that's super important for a Colt.
Exactly, like we were talking about earlier. So Colt could definitely be great on here. Another option I thought of that could work is a Penny. If the enemy team is clumping up a lot in one of these, kind of hallways, as we'll call them, you could see that Penny Pierce shot really being utilized well, really good as well. But Penny would be a little bit more unconventional. I think Brock would be really strong. Colt would be really strong. Piper, maybe not so much, just because up close she's not going to do that much damage. But we could see her as well. But I think we're gonna be looking at a lot of Brocks and Colts here. Yeah.
So, Team Apollo opt to not ban again. So they're not gonna ban this time.
Okay.
Wow.
Apollo, get it together. I wanted you to win.
Very interesting strategy. Maybe it's just mind games. Maybe they're just like, you know what? If we don't ban anything, they'll get really confused.
You know what? This is going to be the legendary turnaround for Apollo. They're about to bring it back. It's going to be wild. I mean, if there's any map Apollo has a chance on, it's going to be this heist map because it's going to be the least played map. So it's going to kind of give them a little bit more even playing field against Hammer Esports because both teams are just not going to have that much practice on the map compared to a lot of these maps that just are a lot older and you're a lot more known and established.
Oh, another thing. While we were just talking about this popped into my head. You were talking about Penny's Pierce shot.
Yeah.
What if to buff Jean, when Jean's initial shot hit a target, its spread came out after?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Because its spread doesn't do as much damage.
Right, it doesn't.
So when it hits that first target, the spread just goes through and can hit anything behind.
Ooh, I like that. You know what? That's a great. Hello, Ryan. Yeah. I'm gonna let Ryan know. That's a great idea, man. I really like that. I still want to see a star power change.
Oh yes, the star power needs to be changed a little bit too. I agree with that. I don't like the 100 health thing, but it just popped in my head about the Pierce because I was thinking about that earlier too. And when you just brought it up, I remembered.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we need more brawlers that have Pierce. I think if I recall, there's only 2 brawlers that have Pierce right now. It's Penny and it's Tara. And Penny's definitely the stronger of the Pierce because her Pierce damage does more damage than her initial shot. So she's actually way more favorable. You want to be piercing with her as much as possible because that's definitely where her strength comes into play.
Yeah, so just the damage difference would be the difference there, and just the fact of Jean's ultimate as well.
Yeah, that might be too much of a buff now. Change the star power and the Pierce. I would like to see the Pierce though. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Yeah, so gonna be hopping into this match momentarily. Team Apollo is down 2-0 right now.
But don't give up on Apollo. I'm not giving up on Apollo. Let's do it, Apollo, to the end for victory.
For honor right there.
For honor, for glory, all of it. Bridge too far. I just wanted to get started. I want to see how this map goes. I've never seen this map in a competitive play before.
Really? That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think we saw a couple of the newer maps last week in Heat 1 either.
Yeah, because in Germany we only had the older maps as the pool. So, so I'm really interested having a little bit of time. I think it's been what, like you said, like 2 weeks or something since we had the update. So this is
about 2 weeks, yeah.
A baby map. It's a brand new map. So anything can happen on this map. There could be some crazy wild comps we can't even think of coming out of here. Like who knows? Who knows what this map's gonna bring?
Yeah, and that's one of the best things about Brawl Stars, in my opinion, is that almost every brawler is viable in every game mode. There are a couple that obviously aren't as good, but I would say a majority of the brawlers are somewhat viable in these game modes across the board.
Yeah.
And that just calls for so many interesting strategies.
You know, the one brawler that comes to mind that just does not belong on a game mode would be Mortis on Heist, but that's no longer true because he got a complete kind of rework. So whenever he kills someone, he's getting healed instantly, 1800 health. That's a huge chunk of health, especially with this specific map where kind of the more squishy brawlers are going to be favorable over the tanks like the Bull or the Daryl. You could maybe see a Mortis as like an anti-meta where he's not really trying to do damage on the safe because he does like no damage on the safe, but maybe he's a dude that focuses down the squishy brawlers like the Lobbers or the long-range squishy Colts. Who knows? Like, that's unheard of. We've never seen Mortis well played in Heist, but now there's a chance he could be viable here.
Yeah, and I think it's okay that that not every brawler is viable in every single game mode. Like, I think there should be brawlers that are specialized in specific game modes.
I agree, but I also don't want to see brawlers boxed into one game mode, and that's kind of
not one for sure. Yeah,
that's the reason of why they changed Mortis, because if they touched Mortis in any way, you know, he was either too weak or he was too strong. So the way that they changed him made it so that he's not just a god in Brawl Ball. He can be played against more game modes, where before he was only really viable in Brawl Ball, and that was really unfortunate because it just didn't bring very much, you know, variability, if that's a real word.
No, I think he's a lot better on Gem Grab now as well.
Yeah, definitely. Early meta, when Mortis was first a thing and people were figuring him out, he was a god in Gem Grab because Brawl Ball didn't exist at the time. So he was the most annoying gem carrier to go against because that dude would just run around with all your gems, and it was super annoying playing against a Mortis. Like, you had to have a Mortis on your team for Gem Grab. And, you know, we've seen him evolve a lot over time.
Yeah, for sure.
So we should be starting soon. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a delay happening right now for the game. I'm not too sure what is going on. I think they're about to get underway. We just got word that they're about to start their match.
So this is potentially the final match here, as Hammer has 2 wins under their belt. Apollo doesn't have any wins here. This is going to be very crucial for Apollo to get a win. They have to win this.
All right, so here we go. Jumping into it, the spectate is pending. We are underway. Here we go. 3 bridge too far.
And, you know, look, there's a Pam we were talking about. And actually, surprisingly, there's the Piper. Although I think Money Capital had a better pick going with the Brock over the Piper.
Yeah, I think Brock is one of those brawlers that just kind of outshines Piper. I think Piper is on the best modifier game mode. I know this is a little off topic, but with the energy drink game mode.
Yeah, she can definitely be very strong here. So, Team Hammer is actually pushing up really strong here, pushing Apollo back. Apollo actually only sitting here with 140 HP. Pleb actually taking him down there.
Yeah,
Piper trying to hit something, but it's pretty hard for her.
Yeah, Brock getting a ton of chip damage from the right-hand side, and I think that's where this this map is so interesting. Is that as soon as one lane goes down, because it's kind of like it's kind of like 3 1v1s happening all at once, and as soon as you win your lane battle, you just get constant poke damage onto the safe.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we've been seeing here. It's just been a slow creep up for Hammer Esports. So there goes down the super by Brock and taking out the high safe, moving on to the next round.
And that will do it. The great That was such great play from Hammers right there. The 3 1v1s, that's one of my favorite. There's I can't remember, what's the gem grab one that has 3 lanes?
That's the 3 lanes? Oof, I don't remember.
I can't remember the name of it.
I'm looking.
Chat probably knows. But
Chat, oh, it's Echo Chamber.
Echo Chamber, yeah. So it's got the 3 lanes right there. And that's one of the things that's like so fun is that there's only a few maps that work or that have that 3 lane, and I think that's so interesting, and it's so fun to see happen periodically in competitive play, because it just comes down to the 1v1, and it's a little bit based on team comp, like do you have the better composition to take down your lane opponent, or is it going to kind of be one of those things that you're just kind of in trouble? And if that's the case, if you're countered in your lane, how do you adjust to it? Which is one of the things that's very interesting about those kind of maps.
Yeah, I agree. I think something really interesting, just a thought that came to my head with this map, you could actually potentially see anti-meta, like we were talking about earlier with the Mortis. For example, like you were saying how this map was kind of a 3 lanes of 1v1s.
Mm-hmm.
I could potentially see a 3-man running down 1 lane, overwhelming one of the brawlers, and then just doing massive damage on the safe potentially. I don't know. I think there's definitely play for, you know, kind of messing around with the meta there. Again, like I said, this is such a baby map that, you know, the meta really hasn't formed or gelled too much yet. It's still pretty brand new. But definitely very interesting coming from them. The next match we're going to be seeing here is going to be Nova versus Hammer, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, Nova, or no, it might not be. I think the admins might give Hammers a break. We're going to see what's here. They are the next scheduled match, but where Hammers just played, they might give them a break. We'll wait for official word from the admin on that.
Yeah, so we'll either be seeing Nova versus Hammer or Cream versus Tribe. Both of those matchups are going to be very close, right? I think so. That sounds like very close matchups coming from both sides.
Yeah, so I believe last week, if I remember correctly, off the top of my head, I think that the last 4 teams were, or in last week, Heat 1, the 4 teams in the semifinals were Nova, Tribe, Apollo's team, and Cream.
Yeah.
So this week, it's the same 3 teams, Nova, Tribe, and Cream, but this time Hammers beat out Apollo, so now they're in the semifinals.
So it's pretty close. And interesting thing here, a little bit unfortunate, is that all of the streamer teams, all of the Force 4, unfortunately, were knocked out for Heat 2 here. So we're just seeing pro team versus pro team now.
Cream Esports is one of the stream teams.
Oh, is Cream Esports one of the stream teams?
Yes. Brazil was is the other pro team.
Go! I'm voting for Cream then.
Go Cream.
I just, because I'm a streamer, you know, I'm a YouTuber.
Go streamers.
I want one of the streamers to beat out one of these pro teams. I just want to see it done. I want to see it done. So my new team is Cream. Come on, Cream, don't let me down.
Go Cream.
So, are we seeing Nova and Hammer, Cream versus Tribe?
I believe we're seeing Nova versus Hammers. I believe that is the final decision.
We just saw Hammers play. This, to me, is actually an advantage for Hammers, because this is a little bit different from a physical sport where you can get exhausted. I think it's actually counter. I think that Hammer having time to warm up versus Apollo's team is actually going to give them an advantage over Nova, because Nova's going to be coming here just a little bit, you know, cold compared to Hammer. Because when I was in Germany, one of the huge factors was how much time could I warm up? Because the more I warmed up, the more kind of like loose and able to play like I was supposed to, you know, happen.
Interesting.
So I think Hammer actually is going to have a little bit of an advantage over Nova.
That's interesting, because in other esports, teams feel teams are on the opposite side. They want a little bit of a break before they don't want to do back-to-back matches. But that's interesting that you say that. It could be different for Brawl Stars too, because the games are just so quick.
So
that once you kind of get into the zone, you just want to keep going with it. Like you don't want the break.
I really think that's the case because of how fast-paced each game is. It's not something like another game like Arena of Valor, for example, where you're playing like 20 to 30 minutes. You're playing, you know, 2 to 3 minute matches here. So you're not kind of like really mentally fatigued or burned out yet. You're actually getting warmed up and ready. At least that's how it was for me. I don't know if it is for every team, but my theory is Hammer is going to have a slight advantage over Nova going into it.
Interesting. Okay, I like that. All right, so I believe the match is just getting underway. So we will see Stonefort, or Gem Grab on Stonefort.
Yeah, and again, Nova's team, we have Corey, Eric EX, we have Super Sai, we have Demise, we have Morton, a lot of very kind of famous people. And then, of course, over on Hammer, again, we have Raven and Pleb, Money Capital, Big Hammer, Looping Louie. Both teams sitting with a ton of trophies on both sides. It's going to be a very even match.
Yeah, and Nova was absolutely dominant last week. So this is going to be a very interesting match. We'll take a look at the matchup real quick before we hop into the gameplay. So here we go. These are the teams: Morton, Demise, Super Sai, Eric, Corey for Nova, Raven, Pleb, Money, Big Hammer, and Louie for Hammers.
Yeah, and I've actually heard a lot about Corey and Eric, and then Demise here sitting at 15k trophies. And like you said, they were kind of steamrolling last week. So Nova could be the team to put the money on. I mean, this is a very, very strong team. I'm also pretty sure Eric EX has won multiple tournaments. I think Corey as well in the past. So they're pretty familiar to the competitive scene.
Yeah. Oh, Pleb ends up taking down Super Sai. A great ultimate from Corey right there with the Rico. He'll be taking down Jesse's turret.
Again, Stonefort comes down to who's going to be able to control that center. And right now, both teams are really kind of battling it out.
So the only difference in this matchup is going to be Spike and Rico. Those are the two differences right now. Pleb gets his ultimate onto Demise. That's going to be a big, big momentum shift for Hammers.
That was just a little bit too close here. Now Corey can poke down Pleb. Pleb sitting at 360 HP. There goes down the super. Stunning Corey. Demise taking him out though.
Oh, Demise has a free reign of all these gems, and that is going to be 10 gems on the right-hand side for Demise. Can Raven take him down? Turret's going to be coming out there, and Nova in the countdown.
There's only 10 seconds left on the clock. 2 versus 3 right now. Corey's sitting at only a third of an HP right there. Can they take him down? There's only 4 seconds. He's so far away. I don't think they can reach him, and that is going to be a first win for Nova Esports.
GG's right there. So the difference in this matchup, we saw Jesse was the same, Frank was the same. So the only difference was Rico and Spike.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it really came down to who was doing the stuns more. We saw good stuns from both Franks there, but it was that crucial moment where Corey was able to take out everybody. Demise was able to come in and grab all the gems, back up for the countdown, and then they just had a strong defense from that point.
Yeah, so the difference was, you were talking about the stuns coming down from Frank. What about Spike versus Rico? Obviously, the Rico won in that situation, but statistically, who do you think has the better control with the Rico or the Spike?
I think if the Rico is incredibly knowledgeable and skilled mechanically on his bouncing of shots and his kind of how he uses corners and walls, I think the Rico will have the advantage over the Spike, as potentially the Rico, if he's really good, can constantly stay covered and the Spike can never reach him. But with that being said, if the Rico does make one wrong move, Spike can just absolutely devastate him before he even has time to throw out his complete super, for example, which would take out a Spike. But Spike's just kind of DPS, can definitely shred down that Rico. So it's going to come down to who's got the better mechanical skills, in my opinion. I think they're both pretty even brawlers, at least as far as this match goes.
Yeah, and I think the positioning that Rico had in that last match was the difference maker right there. But going into match 2, which is going to be a Brawl Ball on Triple Dribble, Jesse is going to be banned.
Okay, that's a great pick. Because of kind of how the corners work for this map, Jesse could be very annoying. Now, last match we saw Primo getting a lot of the goals there. I'm surprised there wasn't a Primo ban.
Yeah, we saw in the first matchup between Hammers, Pleb utilized that Primo really well. He was able to get his ultimates to destroy the boxes. He was able to get the ultimates to get passes to himself, stun teammates, or stun enemies, knock them back. And he played the Primo really well. And I think Nova is just comfortable with defending against Primo maybe in this situation. So maybe that's why they went with the Jesse ban to kind of just take that away from Hammers.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Personally, to me, I think, like we were talking about earlier, Crow is the most annoying for me to play against. I think the next would probably be a Jessie. Her bounce shot and her turret combined can be a nightmare if you're playing on the correct maps. So getting her out of this map could really be a great advantage for Nova.
All right, here we go. Jumping into it. Let's go. Brawl ball, triple dribble.
Okay, interesting. We're seeing Anita play just like last time again. There's the Rico, same. We're seeing Primo.
Yeah, so Pleb back onto the Primo. Super Sai able to get in there, takes down Rico, but Primo taking him down. So trade for trade.
Yeah, Demise throwing out that bear there, kind of to soak up some of the damage. Pleb walking back with the ball. One of the recent changes is actually when you throw the ball, it consumes an attack, so you have to be careful when you pick up the ball. The ball is so close to the goal. Raven able to take it out of the way, though.
Ooh, that was really close.
Raven walking down here. Demise coming to meet him.
Yeah,
Raven keeping that distance right from the Nita. Nita just right out of range, can't hit the shot.
Yeah, gets a couple chip shots. Raven is getting a little too close right there. Has to back off a little bit. Demise going to throw his bear on the right-hand side. Pleb trying to keep control of the ball. And Super Sai is going to be able to roll in, and that is going to be a possession switch. And it looks like Nova is going to be able to get this score.
Wow, that was a great pass from Demise, from the Nita up to the Daryl, and he's able to just walk the ball right in. There goes the roll by Money Capital. Is he able to take out Demise? Demise coming out with the bear, trying to stop Money, sitting at 500. There he goes down. Pleb with 500 as well. And he's going down. Amazing roll by Super Sai. Is this going to be a second goal?
And it looks like it will be. Super Sai, definitely the MVP that match.
Wow. That was awesome. That was an 800 Nita too. Like, we saw some really great play coming from both the Nita and the Daryl there. They were just synergizing so well, passing back and forth, killing people off. What was really cool is when we saw the Daryl actually take out the Primo with his roll. You don't really see people get killed off by Daryl rolls that often, so it was really cool to see that.
No, I think, I mean, Super Sai was just utilizing that Daryl so well. He was able to get the rolls in when he needed to. He wasn't wasting his he wasn't wasting his star powers. He was getting value off of them. He was getting the damage done. He was passing to himself. He knew exactly what he needed to do in that situation. And he just played that really well. And like you said, the synergy with the Nita and Demise using his ultimate attacks, it was great synergy from those two.
Yeah, it was like a work of art to watch. It was really incredible. I think that's one of the things that differentiates a pro from a casual player is them utilizing, you know, the brawlers aren't that complicated, so utilizing what they have in that kit to the very maximum is what's going to, you know, separate the boys from the men, basically. And we saw there him just using absolutely every move he made. Everything he did was calculated. It was effective. It was incredible. And an incredible match to watch there. So we're going to be going to the third match here of Bridge Too Far again. My favorite map to be watching on Heist. You know, last time we saw Piper, and I said, I don't know if we'd see a Piper or not. Do you think we're going to be seeing Piper again?
No. Hammers banned Piper.
Really? Hammers banned Piper?
Yes. So Piper is out.
I'm so surprised.
I'm a little surprised too. I feel like Piper wasn't that effective in the first matchup that we saw between Hammers and Apollo. Yeah. I think the Brock was way more crucial to the match. So I'm honestly surprised we didn't see a Brock ban.
Yeah, that was very interesting because the Piper, like you said, she was doing good damage, but she just she wasn't like a nightmare on the map, you
Hmm.
know. And especially with her getting up close, you know, she's not gonna be doing very much damage up close, and on top of her reload speed is just a little bit too slow in my opinion. I actually kind of wish hers was a little bit faster. I'm surprised they went with that ban. You know, I agree with you. I think one of the more heavy hitters, definitely like we've been talking about, would have been the Brock or the Colt, for example. So or even the Pam, because we saw Pam slowly just creeping up, doing chip damage from that last game. That's how they actually, that's how Hammer was actually able to win versus Apollo.
Yeah, and keeping the thing about her healing station can be so crucial because because in this map it's essentially 3 1v1s like we were talking about earlier. So if you're starting to lose your 1v1, you can just kind of fall back and get into the healing station and heal back up a little bit faster than you normally would. So you don't leave your team hanging for too long and letting the other team get too much chip damage onto your safe.
Yeah, that's a great point. The healing station also is really great for that creeping up chip damage because you can kind of keep around the midfield, back up a little bit, use that healing station to heal up, whereas the enemy team might, if they're not running a Pam, they're not going to be able to use that healing to their advantage. They're going to be pushed back into their high safe even more. So I think, if not one, we're going to be seeing both teams running a Pam here. And again, that's why I think we've been saying Pam needs a nerf.
Yeah, she definitely needs a nerf, whether it be to her star power or a little bit of a damage nerf, just to kind of keep her a little bit in check.
I agree. So yep, there we go. We're going into the next match.
So here we go. From Nova, we have Pam, Penny, and Brock, and it looks like Hammers is going to be sticking to the comp that they ran last time, and oh my gosh, Demise absolutely melts Brock on the right-hand side.
Wow, and now he's putting his focus on Raven, who's going to kind of be stuck here between the Corey and Demise. There goes down the healing station, taking him out.
Corey.
This is interesting. We're seeing Pam on the right side instead of Clay on mid. Very interesting choice coming there from Demise.
Yeah, we're not going to see Pam on Pam like we did in the last match. Raven's going to be pushing up the right-hand side. He's going to get his healing station down, and Raven's going to get a little bit of chip damage onto the safe.
A minute and 45 seconds left on the clock. It's 90 to 83, super close match right now. Raven going down. Demise sitting there with 1600 HP. There goes down the super.
Brock goes down on the left-hand side, and Nova is going to get a lot of damage onto the safe, especially with that Brock getting the constant chip.
That was great move by Corey. They're backing off to not be able to hit. Now they're just doing more chip damage on the safe, sitting at 43% left. There goes down a super by Brock. Brock getting taken out there. Pam getting taken out.
Oh man, Demise gets his healing station down. Corey with the mortar on the right-hand side is able to take down Pleb.
Wow.
And this
that
is
was
just
an amazing shred.
Wow, complete control from Nova in that matchup. And like you said, that was really interesting play from Pam. Pam went to the right-hand lane instead of on the left.
Yeah,
or in the center.
I wasn't expecting that, and I think sometimes that's what you have to do as a pro team. You have to do the unexpected. So it was great because he actually won his side lane and then was able to focus on the middle and help out Corey, who was playing the Penny on the middle, and take out the Pam. And then from there, they were actually able to switch positions a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that was a fantastic play from Nova. Like you said, they were switching as soon as one went down, and they had a switch to kind of bring it back in. And that was, wow, well played.
Very incredible. And I believe that was the third win for Nova, correct?
Yes, so we will be going to the next matchup, which is going to be Cream Esports versus Tribe Gaming. So let's take a look at the matchup.
Yeah.
So here we go, guys. Cream Esports rocking Gilevi, Albert, Juarez, Trebor, and Danny, who is the stream team captain. And then Tribe coming in with OG, Jack Sly, Alec, File, and Keith. Some very notable names from both teams here.
Yeah, big names, very notable on both sides there. Just like we saw last match, this is going to be an incredibly close match as well. Now, that actually wasn't much of a close match last time. Nova really swept the floor with Hammer that last game. They were just 3-0 there. That was incredible coming from them.
Yeah, it goes to show how consistent Nova is. They played extremely well last week, obviously taking home 2 weeks ago, obviously taking home first place in Heat 1, and they're looking to do the exact same moving on to the championship game here in Heat 2. And I think Nova's just feeling comfortable. They're in the zone right now. Now it's just going to be a question of, is it going to be Cream Esports or is it going to be Tribe who they will be facing in the grand finals?
Yeah, I think if Cream or Tribe wants a chance to win this thing, you know, this is going to be very crucial that they win and then they go on to take out Nova. So this is going to be one of the most important matches for both Cream and Tribe here. And then from there, whoever they defeat, they're going to have to defeat the monster that is Nova, who we've just been seeing dominate this tournament in Heat 2 and, like you said, in Heat 1. Who are you think is taking this home between Cream and Tribe? I feel like you're going to be going more for the Tribe team, aren't you?
I honestly, it is so tough to tell in this situation right here, because just looking at those lineups that we just saw on screen, Cream has a fantastic lineup. Tribe has a fantastic lineup. Based on the performance of last week, I think I'm going to go with Tribe. I think Tribe feels like they have something to prove right now. They didn't play as well as people expected them to last week, so they're playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder coming into this week. I think Tribe is going to take this one, and they're going to look for revenge over Nova in the finals.
You know, something that you said that triggered a thought here is it's not just about the names. So, like, we're seeing a lot of notable names here. It's going to come down to how well does the team actually synergize together. So, on Tribe's team, we have notable names like OG, Jack Sly, you know, Feely, Keith, Alec, all very notable people. But just because they're really good at the game doesn't mean they're actually going to synergize well as a team. You know, so Cream definitely still has a chance if they have some good synergy going on. So the question is, which team has better synergy?
Yeah, I think one game mode that Tribe plays really well in is going to be Brawl Ball. And this is one of the things that stood out to me last week. Even though Nova 3-0 Tribe, and they took them down in Brawl Ball, which is probably Tribe's best game mode, Tribe still played it well. Nova just had perfect positioning. They took advantage of Tribe's mistakes that they were playing, and I think that has to do with a little bit of nerves coming in. A lot of these teams are competing for the first time, and Nova just seems so comfortable in this, but a lot of these other teams are making mistakes that we typically wouldn't see them make if they were playing, for example, a ladder match.
That's a very good point there. Yeah, there's definitely a different feel to playing on a competitive scene than playing on the ladder. Now, question for you is actually in Heat 1, did Cream and Tribe verse each other? They did in the losers bracket, correct? Is that what it was?
I believe they played in the 3rd and 4th place match of last week.
Yeah, and Tribe won that, correct?
Oh no, they didn't play in the 3rd and 4th place match. Cream didn't play Tribe. Tribe ended up playing Apollo because Apollo beat Cream, or Cream beat Apollo. That's what it was. So Cream had beaten Apollo in the semifinals. Nova had beaten Tribe in the semifinals. So Tribe finished 3rd place last week.
Right. So this is going to be very interesting. We haven't really seen too much Tribe versus Cream before. I don't know. The first match we're going to be going on is Stone Fort for Gem Grab. Like you said, Brawl Ball is going to be really strong for Tribe, so that might be going towards Tribe. But Gem Grab could be something that Cream can take from Tribe if they have a good comp, if they're not making mistakes, if they're hitting their shots, their stuns, their heals.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be seeing a double Frank here yet again for Gem Grab on Stone Fort. And we saw last time, or in the last matchup that we just saw with Nova versus Hammers, and even in the first one with Apollos versus Hammers, how crucial hitting your Frank stuns are. If we see Frank, and Frank is going to be able to get the stuns off where he needs to, and stops the other team from getting a lot of damage with their DPS or getting through with their tank to tank the shots, it's going to be an absolute game changer. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Frank from both teams here, but it's going to be a question of who's going to utilize that Frank more and get the stuns off. That's going to be the game changer.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm not surprised that Frank is going to be in the spotlight for this map, because how Stone Fort works, like we were saying earlier, it's going to be able to who can control the center, because that's where the gems spawn. That's what it really matters.
Course,
this isn't bounty. It's not about kills. It's about control. Gem grab is all about control, and Frank attack range and his super covers so much of that center box that it's not a surprise that we're seeing him so much here. Now, we could see some counter comps coming out where we could see the other team taking a Shelly, for example, because if Frank is in his animation of doing his spin to hit out the super, Shelly can come in, bop him with her super, stunning him, stopping his super completely, which would, of course, be a great counter to that Frank. So we might see, things coming, brawlers being picked to counter the Frank specifically for this map.
You saying, you're talking about the animation that Frank has made me think of, obviously we won't see it today because Gene is banned, but Gene might be a great counter to Frank.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. That is a great point, because even up close, he can actually still have the potential to juke the Frank, whereas you're not going to be able to juke a bull up close. It's just not going to happen. It is possible to juke a Frank up close. So,
yes.
You're right. I didn't think about that before. He could be a great counter for Frank.
Yeah, so that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to see, because I feel like Gene is one of the brawlers, like, even though he doesn't seem like super solid right now, I think he's like really, really strong versus certain brawlers. Like, he has the counters, and then against other brawlers, he just seems pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, I agree. There might be some slight tweaks going on there, but overall, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so the question is, if we do see a Gene buff, are we going to see buffs to the brawlers that he counters to kind of counteract that?
I don't think so, and because here's the thing. Although he counters them, I don't think he's like a super strong counter. So, for example, like, if he hooks in a Frank, he's not 100% guaranteed to kill that Frank. So he's like to me, he's kind of like a semi-counter, whereas, for example, a Shelly would be a full-on counter to Frank, because of that stun, because of the damage, because she can kill him on her own. Gene can't kill on his own, and so in my opinion, he's kind of like a semi-counter. So if he gets a buff, I don't think you're gonna need extra buffs going on. I think he'll be fine.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we're just waiting on bans right now, I believe, for Cream versus Tribe. Do you think we're gonna be seeing a Frank ban?
Looks like they're about to get into it. Yep, here we go. We could potentially be seeing that. So here we go, onto Stone Fort. No Frank is being played.
No ban. There was no ban. Okay. Okay, we're seeing great chip damage from the Pam. Beedly taking him out right there. OG with the roll, taken out as well. We got complete control coming in from Tribe.
Yeah, Tribe immediately goes for the middle and takes it down. I think Rico has been dominant on this map. We saw Nova play Rico in the match earlier versus Hammers, and Rico just did so well. Tribe saw it and was like, that's pretty good.
I think the key with Rico is what we're seeing right here. If you have complete control and you're pushed up, it makes it a lot easier for Rico to be dominant, as there's only certain places the enemy team can actually run out of, and Rico can just cover that so well. So we're actually kind of seeing a comeback here from Cream, being able to control Sensor now, pushing out Tribe a little bit.
Yeah,
there's the roll in.
OG coming in with the roll, trying to take down Jesse. Jesse is going to fall. OG's going to try to back out here. Danny getting pressured hard by this Rico.
Yeah, they cannot let Tribe take any more gems. But there goes 2 gems that they're going to have to stop the Daryl. There goes down the super. Daryl being taken out. They need to just keep the control of Sensor here, not rush things. Be patient, be calm.
Yeah, and they will need to get that 11th gem because there would be enough time for 2 more gems to spawn in, which would give Tribe a 10 gem, which would tie the countdown. But so Tribe is going to have to make something happen because Cream is very much closing in on their 11 gems.
Yep, there goes on the roll there. But the Tar was waiting for it. There goes on the super from both sides. Great super by the Spike, slowing down the Feely.
Jack trying to come in, get some damage with Rico, and Albert is going to take it. But look at this Tribe pushing back through, and they might be able to get their 2 gems to tie this up.
Cream needs to stop them from getting this gem right here. They have to do everything in their power to stop this. There goes OG with the roll. Oh, there grabs the gem, and now we are tied up. But Tribe's looking pretty low in HP right now. They're being pushed back. Wow, turnaround right there. There goes the gems. Danny, Albert backing up here. Roll in from OG, but he just can't reach them in time.
Yeah, he was able to take down Danny on the spike, but it looks like that is going to do it, and Cream is going to take down Tribe in gem grab in a very close match.
Wow, that was incredible because we were seeing Tribe dominate, and then Cream was able to get control of that center and then just slowly, patiently just grind up those gems. Incredible comeback from Cream.
Yeah, I think that Cream played that so well. They were able to get control exactly when they needed it. And that Cream looked like they almost gave up control, but I think they did that on purpose. It looked like they kind of knew what was happening. They knew they were going to get the 10 gems. Yeah. And they knew if Tribe was in that situation where, okay, now they have to push into the middle, we can just let them push into the middle and then take them down. And that is exactly what they did. They were able to take down Pam in the back. They got Spike's ultimate in there, and Jessie was able to get her chip shots. Turret was in the middle, getting chip shots in as well. And that basically changed it right there.
Yes, that was a great turnaround, and that's one of the things I absolutely love about the competitive scene is when we see upsets and turnarounds coming about. You know, upsetting the normal there. Tribe really had it in the bag. It was like Tribe's taking this first win home. Cream was like, nope, we're controlling center, we're stopping you. And they did incredible. But now we're going to be heading to triple dribble, and like we were saying, Tribe is very dominant in Brawl Ball, so this is going to be a little bit of a concern going in for Cream.
Yeah, and Tribe is going to opt to ban Daryl for Brawl Ball.
Ooh. Okay, so we've seen Jessie bans, now we're seeing a Daryl ban. We've seen Nita every match so far, so we might see a Nita on this map again. With Daryl being banned there, that means the Jessie is going to be open, so we might see a Jessie Nita comp coming out of this.
Yeah, and we saw how dominant Supersai was on Daryl in Nova's last match versus Hammers. Supersai with the rolls, taking down Primo, getting the passes. I think Daryl is a very smart ban for Tribe, and I think they're going to capitalize on that. And like you said, Nita and Jessie will probably be coming out here. You know,
you're right. Thinking about it, they might be afraid of the Daryl because Daryl did get a buff, and we saw Daryl being used so effectively in the last matchup. It's not a surprise that we're seeing a Daryl ban now.
Yeah, and Daryl, Daryl in Brawl Ball is like Pam in every other game mode right now. Like, Daryl is just really good. The shield, the buff he had, the ability to kind of the ability to regen your star power is just so crucial for Daryl, especially in Brawl Ball, when as soon as you have a breakthrough, you just push through, you get your roll, you get the ball, you can score. He's just so dominant in Brawl Ball right now, it feels.
Yeah, I think with the Daryl buff and the Mortis nerf as far as Brawl Ball goes, Daryl might have taken the place as King of the Hill as far as which brawler is the best overall for Brawl Ball, because we're just seeing him played so much on this map, and we're not seeing Mortis played. Rest in peace to Brawl Ball Mortis.
I know. Well, Mortis is still, like, some people still utilize Mortis, not in high trophies. I have noticed the lower trophies that you are, like, kind of around like 250 to 500, people still do use Mortis because some people just don't know how to stop the Mortis, because if you're really good with Mortis, you can still kind of break through in that lower trophy range because some people just don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mortis is definitely a bit of a risk for the higher trophies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But with, like you said, those lower brawlers not knowing, for example, that you would want a Shelly or some type of tank staying on the Mortis to kind of effectively shut him down, you know, watching their spatial of how far they push up and making sure he can't sneak past them. You know, you're not going to see a lot of sneak pass in the higher, you know, trophy range. In the lower trophy range, yes, you can definitely abuse and get away with Mortis, but not so much higher up. So it is not too much of a surprise that we're not seeing Mortis.
All right, here we go, jumping into Brawl Ball. And we do have Jessie coming out from both teams, and Nita is going to be rocking from Cream, but Tribe is not going to opt to run the Nita. Nita's going to fall here, though.
And we're seeing Rico again. Rico has been definitely a favorite. He's been played a lot.
Yeah, and I think we just saw why right there. Is if the ball is on the opposing side, Rico can just get really good bounce shots off of the crates.
Yeah, Rico definitely got a good buff, because before this we were not seeing Rico played at all.
No.
Great move coming in there from Jack and Alec, tag teaming there to take him down. Tribe holding onto the ball right now.
Yeah,
just
Jack.
trying to push back, being patient.
Jack tried to get some bounce shots onto Albert, but Albert was able to back off just in time. Nita looking really low. She tosses her bear forward to kind of absorb some of the shots. Jack using that wall to take down the Nita bear a little bit faster.
Alec was able to take out the Nita. That was a little bit unfortunate. He was just a little bit too low on HP. Albert with the ball. Can he actually sneak it in? Not quite there. Almost though. Good try by him.
Yeah, with the energy consumption to shoot the ball now, I think it's become a strategy to figure out exactly when to pass the ball to the opponent, because it takes up one of their shots.
Right. There's definitely some strategy there that's still in my opinion a little bit underdeveloped. I don't think we've seen the full, you know, front of what that truly is yet, or how that works.
The full front.
The full frontage.
This is going to be a really close game. We're 40 seconds left into the match, and a goal has yet to be scored. Cream looking to make something happen here, and oh, what a great ult right there from Gile. He gets Rico and Spike down. Gile looking to be able to make something happen here. Albert trying to get a chip shot. He does, and Gile scores.
Wow! And there's only 20 seconds left on the clock. Tribe is going to have to brute force their way through this if they want to tie this thing up.
What?
This is close.
The plays from Albert right there
My goodness.
to get Gile to score. Wow.
This is incredible. This is incredible.
Wow.
Dude!
What a
Cream.
game. What a game.
Cream isn't letting me down. Yes, go streamer team. So I'm wondering, because Tribe was very strong with Brawl Ball, do you think it was team comp? Do you think it was synergy? What do you think was the kind of downfall as far as for Tribe this game?
I think there was a little bit of miscommunication on where they were supposed to be on that last defense, because we saw right there they grouped up a little bit with Tara in the court. They were both going for Tara. Tara had low HP, but she also had her ultimate attack available. And as soon as she threw the star power, Albert knew exactly he had to get his turret up, so he sets his turret up right in the middle, so if they fell back, the turret would start shooting at it. If they started shooting at the turret to try to take it down, Albert was right behind them, healing the turret. And one thing about Jessie is that if you shoot the turret, it does a ricochet off the turret onto the target, so that's exactly what had happened there. Gile got the ultimate off, got both Spike and Rico very low, and that pretty much just set Cream up for success. And Gile held the ball behind the crates, behind the barrels, and then as soon as all three of them were down, he was just able to sneak through and get the score and put Cream up 1-0, which led them to victory.
Yes, great analysis. I agree. I think that key moment in all of that was the moment when Tribe clumped versus the Tara, like you said. As soon as Tara was able to throw the super out on both of them, that's the moment that they lost the game. Like, it's crazy how one teeny mistake of getting just a little bit too close can throw the entire match for you.
Yeah, and even though Tara was low, like, you have to know that Tara's ultimate is so game-changing, especially in Brawl Ball and even Gem Grab. Like, when you're in a position where your back is against the wall, if you have all the gems and you're, like, for Gem Grab, if you have all the gems, you push up, targets are all game-changer. If you're back in your goal and it's a 2v2 situation, Tara has her ult, you clump up in Brawl Ball, game-changer. You're both going to fall very low in health, and if not, completely out. And then with the recent change that happened, that is a 7-second spawn time before you can even get back into the game to try to stop them from scoring. And especially when they're that close to the goal, it's nearly impossible.
Yes, incredible play. Very surprising, because we put our money on Tribe. As much as I want Cream to win, I thought Tribe might be taking it here as well. But Cream is creaming Tribe right now. They're doing an incredible job. Excuse the
Yep.
pun.
I mean, yeah, Cream is just absolutely dominating right now, and it's honestly surprising of how well Cream is playing, but it's not at the same time because of how solid that their team is.
I agree, and the ban coming out here is going to be Daryl for Heist. That's very interesting. We've seen a lot of Pam and a lot of long range for Bridge Too Far Heist.
Yep.
It's surprising they're going with a Daryl ban.
Yeah.
Because of how open this map is.
Yeah, and we've seen, I think the most consistent brawlers we've seen is Pam and Brock.
Yeah, Pam and Brock definitely. So I think we might be seeing that on both teams again. I think they still, just like the last match with Brawl Ball, they might still be worried about that Daryl. But again, this map doesn't seem to favor Daryl as much, so I'm still pretty interested they went with a Daryl ban.
Yeah, I don't know if that was on purpose or if they just kind of felt that it was one of those things where they just needed to, like, just kind of throw them off. Like, it's one of those mind games that Tribe might be playing. I'm not too sure.
Tribe and their mind games. All right, let's head into this Heist match. Okay, so we're seeing Rocks on both teams. We're seeing the only difference here is going to be the Jessie versus the Penny.
Yeah, and again, this time both Pams are on the right-hand side. The first time on this map, we saw both Pams in the middle. Last time we saw one Pam on the right-hand side, one in the middle. Now we're seeing both on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm not sure what the strategy is as far as where they're placing Pam. Both teams are pretty even right now, although we have lost a little bit of health on both saves now. Good turnaround from Cream, getting some nice poke damage by the whatever his name is.
The Penny.
The Brock. The Brock.
Oh, the Brock.
A minute and a half left on the clock. Good damage right now. Cream is actually holding their own still, and they are actually ahead. I thought if there was any map that they would be ahead of for Tribe, it would be Heist. But Cream is doing an excellent job of keeping them away and just slowly creeping up and doing damage on that save.
Yeah, Danny might fall here on the right-hand side. It looks like he's going to get his healing station down. Jack trying to do as much damage as he can to the healing station, take that out. Albert is looking very low. Jack might be able to take Danny down here. The healing station is going to come down, and these guys are just going to town on each other. Meanwhile, Brock was getting a ton of chip damage onto the safe.
Yeah, actually, the person that was getting so much damage was this Jessie here. Jessie was doing incredible amounts of damage on the safe. It's only sitting at 18% right now, 45 seconds left on the clock. But the thing about Heist is it's still anybody's game. One good push from Tribe and they could win this.
Oh, huge fight on the right-hand side. Albert is getting great chip damage onto the safe and an absolute collapse. Does it, and Cream sweeps Tribe.
Wow! Did not see that coming. A 3-0 from Cream. That is incredible.
Wow, this is the second heat that Tribe has gotten swept in the semifinals.
I am actually floored. I'm shout out to my team, Cream. Take it home for me, baby. Take it all the way home. I'm going to be really interested to see Cream versus Nova because both of them have 3-0'd in this tournament.
Yeah.
So are we going to see one of them just even outshine the other one even more in 3-0 still? Or do you think we're going to be seeing them going all the way to the 5th match?
Last heat, we saw Cream and Nova meet in the finals. It was 3-1 in favor of Nova. Wow. So we will see Cream and Nova in the finals yet again. But what is the outcome going to be? That's going to be the interesting part.
Yes, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Cream has been on a roll here. I didn't get to see Heat 1, but I'm still putting my faith in Cream. I think they can still keep this ball rolling. They can take it home. I personally want to see a best of 5 coming out here. I want to see all 5 games being played. We've seen a lot of 3-0s. I don't think we haven't even made it to Snake Prairie yet, have we?
No,
we haven't even.
It's all 3-0s. All 3-0s.
All 3-0s. Wow. I just want to see Snake Prairie played.
Yeah, it's so surprising to see 3-0. I mean, just look at the lineups, like especially the semifinals that we just saw. Nova versus Hammers and Cream versus Tribe. You would expect those games to be so close, but they've been so one-sided in favor of Nova and in favor of Cream.
Yeah, it's very surprising to see, like you said, that high up being 3-0. You would think it wouldn't be so disbalanced. And I'm wondering if maybe it just comes down to who's kind of having more of a snowball day, you know, like who is just kind of on their game and just in the flow. Because you really don't expect a 3-0 coming out with both teams being so incredibly strong.
No, you really don't. So we're going to take a look at our next matchup, which is going to be the 3rd and 4th place match coming to you guys, and that is going to be Hammers versus Tribe. So we saw both of these teams just lose 3-0, Hammers to Nova and Tribe to Cream. Are we going to see another 3-0 here? What do you think?
You know, all these teams have surprised me today. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to say no, because I really want to see Snake Prairie being played. So I'm going to say it's at least going to go to Snake Prairie, if not make it all the way to Deep Siege.
Interesting. Okay. So looking at the lineups here, we have Raven, Pleb, Money, Big Hammer, and Louie from Hammers Esports, and then OG, Jack Sly, Alec, Feely, and Keith from Tribe.
Very big matchups, although we are seeing a slight trophy advantage coming in from the Tribe side over Hammer. Hammer sitting mostly around 10 to 11k, but OG sitting at 14, Jack at 14, Alec at 13, Feely at 14, and Keith all the way up at 15,000 trophies. And that is kind of a big trophy advantage. I'm wondering if that's going to be a factor with the two of them versing off.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those, like, there's one 15k player, and that's gonna be Keith. And Money is really close, but Tribe has overall more trophies, so I don't know.
It'd be very interesting to see who's gonna be taking this home.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. Just kidding.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, with Hammer versus Tribe here, Stonefort coming in, we've seen good control from Tribe in the last match. So I'm wondering if we're going to see the same thing, and if so, can Hammer bring the turnaround, or do you think Hammer can actually get in there and keep control from the start, keep Tribe just completely out of the center?
I think it's gonna be. I think the first game is gonna determine the series. Whoever wins at Gem Grab is gonna have the momentum going through, because both teams have already lost 3-0.
Yeah.
If a team loses in Gem Grab, it's gonna be, they're gonna start sweating a little bit. They're gonna be a little bit nervous.
Going on tilt a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
It's, you know, psychological. So
yeah.
This might be the most important match.
Yeah, because 3-0s are not easy to overcome.
Yeah. Right.
But before we jump into this match, we are going to be doing our giveaway. So if you guys are just tuning in, here is the giveaway that we have right now. It's going to be Razer Hammerhead headset, of course, from Razer. This headset is beautiful. Last week, Super Psy won the headset. If you guys want to enter into this, make sure you go over to the Twitter right now. It is a USB-C headset. The headset is honestly beautiful. If you guys want to see it on screen, I can show you right after you look at this beautiful graphic, and I'll show you both of the things that are in this graphic right now. If you guys want to go through and enter this giveaway, make sure you go to Twitter at the Forge League, follow the Forge League, follow Armlet Arcade, follow Razor, and reply to the tweet. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to make it to the championship weekend, the top 4 teams? Let us know.
I definitely think Nova is going to be in the top here.
Oh yeah, Nova. I think Nova. I don't want to say anything for sure because it's based on points, but I'm pretty sure Nova has probably secured their spot in the top 4 because they won the Heat 1, and they're already in the finals for Heat 2.
That's true. I think you're right. I think they might have a secured spot. Also, you said Heat 1 Cream was in the finals last week too, correct?
Yes. So we're seeing the same exact finals matchup this Heat.
Right. So we could actually see both of them might be secured to go into the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going to be battling out for kind of glory here. Who's going to be taking this thing home? I'm hoping to see Cream bring something different from Heat 1 and actually take out Nova this time instead of repeat history and being taken out.
Yeah, so a giveaway is going to be decided now. It's going to be the winner will be announced in the Armlet Arcade chat. And just to give you guys a little preview, so look at this right here. This is the headset you guys are looking for. This goes into both ears just like this. You have to have I'm just kidding. They're magnetized. So it magnetized for storage. Really nice. Look at that. Magnetized for storage. And then the other thing you saw was this Razer phone. Look at this RGB lighting right here. Look at that. I can change it too. You guys want me to change it?
Do it. Change it.
Look at this.
Wow.
Wow. Ready? It's blue. Now it's red.
Wow.
Now it's green. RGB.
Whoa.
Whoa. Now it's yellow. We'll get a little bit of orange in there. Just because for the Armlet Arcade. Look at that.
That's a little risky.
Look at that.
With orange.
Armlet Arcade.
I do think we have a winner though, don't we?
And then of course Razor for green. Yes, we do have a winner. Novzy won on Twitter. If you're in the chat. Novzy. Congratulations, Novzy. You won this headset, not the phone. You don't win the phone. You just win the headset.
That's it. Does he have to be present? Does he have to say he's in the chat to win?
I think he's here. I'm not sure.
Where are you, Novzy?
They announce it. They'll let us know.
Okay, sounds good.
But congratulations, Novzy. Enjoy your headset. I would be using it, but I need a USB-C to aux jack because my stupid mix amp doesn't have a USB-C port, so I can't use these.
Oh, it's a USB-C?
It is USB-C, yes.
Ooh, that's fancy.
They're very nice headphones though. I have used and can confirm.
10 out of 10.
Would recommend.
Would recommend. Nice. Very nice.
Case, by the way. Flops right in. So Novzy is the giveaway winner. Congratulations.
So now we will be going into Hammer versus Tribe, correct?
Yes. We will be going into Hammer versus Tribe.
Okay, good. Good to go. All right, so this should be starting about in a minute and a half here. Before that starts, do you think we're going to be seeing Frank again? If I remember correctly, nobody played Frank last time, did they? No.
The biggest difference that we've seen has been Rico. If the person who plays Rico, if they play them correctly, that's the team that's going to win.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if we'll see Rico and Rico, if we'll see a Rico ban, if we'll see, the Rico versus Spike again. Also, another person that we saw kind of shred and do a great job was that Pam.
Yes.
She was doing an excellent job of pushing people out of the center as well. So we might see a Pam ban.
Yeah, Pam is one of those ones that's I mean, we talked about this earlier, but if you guys weren't tuning in, we'll talk about it again just for you guys. Pam is probably the most overpowered brawler. Not overpowered, but the most dominant brawler. Like, she's really good right now across multiple game modes. I think she could use it. The word overpowered was not the one. She's very strong right now. She's probably the most utilized. If you play her correctly, she is extremely good.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would be hesitant, like you said, to use the word overpowered. But
Yeah.
she is a little too strong. She definitely is going to need a nerf here. So we might be seeing her played in this map again. You know, personally, I am a fan of Pam, so I'm okay with seeing her played as many places as she wants to play in.
Pam is very fun to play too.
Yeah, Pam is a fun brawler because she's really good at chipping down the enemy, especially if you have your star power. You're also kind of feel rewarding for every time you hit an enemy, you're healing up you and your teammates, so that feels nice. And then also feels really nice to support you and your teammates as well with having your healing station to heal you up. So she's great because she can also cover a lot of mistakes, both being hit by being able to heal up and by hitting because of kind of she's got a wider kind of tile radius of kind of arc of how she hits. So I think Pam is a pretty great brawler, especially for beginners. Just so much kind of grace there as far as hitting and healing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, it looks like we are about to get started. These guys are about to request. So a 3rd and 4th place match coming through. Hammers versus Tribe. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Are we spectating OG or Raven?
We are spectating Raven.
Okay, let's get into it. Okay, we're seeing the Pam. I'm very interested to see how this Poco is gonna do against the Pam. Generally, we've seen Pam stronger than Poco, but right now they're controlling center.
Yeah, Poco and Pam work really well together. But this is interesting to see that Hammers is not going with a Pam, and they're choosing to go Poco instead.
Yeah, and, you know, really surprising here is Hammers really controlling center up until this point right about now, which is surprising because last time we saw the opposite. We saw Tribe controlling it in the beginning.
Yeah, and last time Tribe controlled it to start, they ended up losing. So I'm wondering if they're going to try to keep back and try to get that control like Cream did over them in the previous matchup.
I think no matter what, you know what? Honestly, I think we're seeing a Poco pick to synergize well with this Frank here. He needed a heal here to keep Frank alive, but he just didn't have it. Now he's being pushed back, only 600 HP. He's going to be knocked out there by OG. No one can really come up to grab those gems, though. They're kind of just guarding them, waiting for the Poco to come back and grab the gems again.
Yeah, Money almost got away, but Jack was able to take him down. In great control from Tribe right now. It's such a back and forth game in terms of control. Oh, Raven is looking very low.
There goes down Pleb. Raven is one hit away from being knocked out. And it's 7-8 right now. Tribe holding on to one extra gem. Raven being pushed back here. Getting a nice hit from Jack. Being forced to back up and heal. Pleb being low health as well. Honestly, most of this game, Hammer has just been sitting with low HP. Tribe's been doing a great job of just poking and keeping them away. There goes the 8th gem, though. 8-9 right now. This is an incredibly close game.
Yeah, Raven is just slowly peeking in, and there we go. Tribe is going to start the countdown. And, oh, Jack takes down.
Jack is the MVP here. Like we were talking about, it came down to how you use the corners and angles with the Rico, and Jack was doing such a great job there. He was able to take out 2 of Hammer's teammates there, and that was what won them the game right there. He's definitely should be the MVP.
Yeah, there's Jack on the MVP with the Rico. Very well played right there. And, oh man, we talked about this earlier. You said Pam was dominant. She was very dominant there. The healing helped a lot. And then Jack on the Rico. Jack's been on point on the Rico pretty much all day so far.
Yeah, it was incredible. I think the Pam Rico combination was really strong.
Yeah, Pam is one of those brawlers that is just absolutely dominating right now. And then, like you said, Rico with the recent buff. He's been so good, and Jack really making him work there.
Yeah, very, very, very nice coming out from Jack. Jack really definitely turned that game around. Going into match 2 here, triple dribble. We've seen Rico play a lot on this map. Do you think we're going to be seeing a Rico ban?
We might see Rico being banned, especially against Tribe. Jack has been playing, Jack is very good on Rico, and he's been playing Rico quite a bit on Brawl Ball and Gem Grab.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Hammers is going to come out with a Rico ban.
Oh, but not. Jesse's being banned. I'm surprised they're not stopping the Rico from Jack.
Yeah, that is really interesting that they're opting to go with the Jesse ban.
Well, Jessie is also pretty strong in this meta. We saw her really shine in one of the last heist maps we did. So, and she was banned here last match as well. So seeing her banned here again isn't too much of a surprise, but I think them dealing with the Rico might be an issue.
Yeah, we'll have to see how well they play against it. Gile and Albert last time with the Tara and Jesse combo was brutal in the matchup we saw against Nova with Nova and Tribe.
Yeah, definitely.
Cream and Tribe, excuse me.
So yeah, it's definitely going to come down to how well can they not let the Rico affect them. And unless we see some crazy comp, and there's not even a Rico in this match, but I think we're going to be seeing Rico as he's been very, very strong in every match we've seen him played so far.
Yeah, so it looks like we're about to get underway. Players are getting the match ready, and we're going to be jumping into Brawl Ball. Tribe is up 1-0.
I can't even see this match. Okay, there we go.
There we go, yeah.
Wow. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're seeing both Ricos here. We're seeing a Nita over a Shelly. I kind of like the Nita pick more than the Shelly if the Nita can keep the distance.
Yeah, Nita being able to stay back, and like we were talking about earlier, if Nita can get her bear a little bit further back and then get some attacks in to build up her ultimate, it's going to be a lot better for them to consistently have that bear out.
Yes, the way that Tribe is playing right now is a very aggressive, very dominant. They were actually forcing a Hammer to be kind of put in the corner a little bit to the side there. The way that they're playing, it looks like Tribe might be able to take a win here just by the way that they're playing and their kind of play style here. There goes down the Daryl from the Shelly super. Very nice coming in from Alec.
Oh, and Raven is able to take down Shelly.
Okay, so all of Hammer's just sitting constantly at low HP here. Tribe, again, just from the start of this game, has been very, very dominant. It's very interesting to see how Hammer's trying to react to this. Cornering the ball. This is a very defensive, a little bit of a desperate move, I would say. I think Tribe is doing a great job once you see the ball being cornered there. Incredible job by them.
Yeah, Tribe has been playing this very well thus far, and I mean, Hammers is not giving any leeway though.
Yes, none at all right now. So it's still tied 0-0, but the way that they're positioned, I still think Tribe's going to be able to take a win here. Unless we see a mistake coming from Tribe, you just see them slowly creeping in more and more, and there goes the goal from OG.
Geez.
But
wow.
There is 40 seconds left on the clock. Hammer can turn this around, but Tribe has been dominant all game here. There goes the roll by the Daryl. Can he get it in time?
Oh,
yes,
Pleb!
Incredible comeback, 1-1. Great job by Pleb here. Anybody's game. I still think Tribe's able to take this home just the way they've been positioned and playing. Jack's sitting here at half health right now. It might come down to which Rico can take out the teammates more. 14 seconds left on the clock.
OG getting really good shots onto that Nita.
Yes. Alec is sitting here with 39 HP, having to back off and just wait it. But Tribe is sitting with some good supers right now. 1 minute left on the clock. Money being stuck in the super, throwing it back. Tribe being able to push up. Raven, the only one alive. Pleb coming in. He's going to have to stop them.
Oh, great ult from OG. Oh, Alec passed the ball back, but Alec will be able to score right there. And wow.
Incredible win there. Congratulations to Tribe. They were just playing dominant all game, slowly creeping up. It
Yep.
almost looked like the life was being choked out of Hammer. Like there was not too much they could do. In desperation, they threw the ball in the corner, but it wasn't enough. Tribe was still able to just blaze through and get the ball into the goal there.
Yeah, and again, like we saw there, or like I said at the start, whoever wins the first game is going to have the momentum for the series, and it definitely showed right there where Tribe got the first goal, and it just kind of put Hammers in panic mode a little bit.
Yeah.
And Pleb was able to just barely get a score in there, but he was, and then Tribe was like, no, we can't have this. We're not going to tie it up 1-1. We have to get this goal, and they just pressured hard and pinned Hammers back, and they were able to take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, so this next match here, if Tribe can win this thing, they will be sitting in that third place position. Bridge Too Far Heist, we're seeing a Pam ban. First time we've seen a Pam ban, but it's not a surprise ban.
No.
Because Pam has been so strong on this map. I'm surprised she wasn't banned sooner.
Yeah, we've said it in the past couple of games that we saw that Pam and Brock have been the most dominating brawlers in this map.
Absolutely, super strong. So but I think Pam is more key than a Brock is. So taking Pam out of the equation, I think was a incredibly smart move coming in here. It'll be interesting to see how it shifts kind of the dynamic, because having the Pam chip and having the Pam heal taken away, you know, who's going to replace her? Maybe a Penny, maybe more of a Spike. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I don't want to say Paco, because that's like the heal was still going to be useful, but I think Pam is just the better healer overall for this specific map. I don't think you could really replace that feeling with Paco.
No, I don't think Pogo is going to be a pick here. He just doesn't do damage to the safe well. People aren't really going to clump up very much on this map. I think that would be a very poor choice to pick Pogo for here.
Yeah, so here we go, going into it, and it looks like we're going to have Piper, Penny, and Brock from Hammers, and Daryl, Rico, and Brock.
I kind of like Tribe's matchup pick better. But especially having that Daryl there, as long as he can heal up here, as soon as he gets a roll on, I think we're going to see a snowball coming in from Tribe. I think early game, it's not Tribe, but once they get that Daryl roll like we just saw there, it's just going to be snowball.
Yeah,
Daryl's down the Piper.
Jack with a great shot onto Piper.
Yes, they're just chipping at the safe slowly. There goes the roll by Daryl, doing great damage there. So much damage on the safe right now. All
that's game.
Alive.
That's
it. There's no way.
That might be game right there. Oh my gosh. That was so well played from Tribe.
See, the problem is that the matchup of the Piper versus the Daryl just wasn't good. Daryl was definitely the better pick over the Piper there. And I think that's why we were seeing the third win for Tribe. They will be third place for this heat too.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, wow, what an insane. That was insane. Wow, what a game.
Yeah. Every single match has been a 3-0. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's really surprising that all these games, like with the talent on these teams, like these are not like bad players. These are just just the games that are happening are just so insane. I'm honestly shocked that it's been 3-0 every.
Yeah, I really am too, because like you said, no team is bad here. All these teams are really good. They fought really hard to get here. They've got really good players across the board. It's very surprising, but I think going into this finals match here, I think we're gonna finally be seeing our beloved Snake Prairie map.
Yeah, I mean, it went to 4 games last heat. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing that that 4th game again, or even a 5th game. But before we get into the finals, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Nova versus Cream Esports. Let us know who you guys think is going to win in the chat. We'll see you guys after the break for the grand finals. Welcome back to the Forge League Colt Cup Heat 2. We are getting into the grand finals right now. DLG, tell me what the situation is going into the finals.
So we have Nova versus Cream, and we've been seeing incredible plays coming from both Nova and from Cream. Both teams having stacked players on their rosters here. It's going to be an incredible final match. Now, I've heard some thoughts out there that Nova is actually sitting in a really good position. Did you hear that too?
I did hear that. If Nova wins, they will... Let me put it to you this way. Nova is guaranteed first place, win or loss.
That's incredible. That's like mind-blowing. Like congratulations to Nova. That's crazy.
Nova has won so many matches and lost so few matches that even if they lose in this finals, they're still first place.
Yeah, so Nova's basically fighting for pride right now to keep up their record.
And just get insane amount of points.
Yeah, and Cream is fighting for their life to try to get some extra points on them. But Nova's still walking away, smiling, happy as a pig, no matter what.
Yeah, that's insane that you played that well throughout a tournament to secure first place, even if you lose in the finals of a heat.
Yes, that's absolutely incredible. So the question is, can my team, my streamer team, Cream Esports, go against this Goliath here and still win? Do you think it's possible at all?
I think it's very possible, and I think Cream has played really well today.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if Cream wins this, like, it will be sitting in the back of Nova's head that, like, hey, we can lose to this team.
Exactly, yeah. So this is almost a psychological fight. But let's hop in here and see how they do.
Yeah, so we're going to be having, here we go, on to Stone Fort. Looks like Demise, Super Sai, and Corey. Super Sai has been playing Frank, but this time he's rocking onto the spike. Is Danny going to be able to go down here? He does. Super Sai threw his ultimate to get down Danny.
Yeah, great job here. No, I actually thought that we were going to be seeing a control here from Nova, but it looks like Cream is actually controlling center really, really well right now. 6-0, in fact. There's the roll by Danny, coming in on the spike. Spike with the super slow. Barely walks away, 56 HP. Danny with the 263.
Oh, Danny almost gets spiked out, and he does, and he's going to be able to get away as well.
That was incredible from Danny. He was being shot up from two sides, and he still walked away alive.
Yeah, Danny gets the ult through and is going to take down Spike yet again. Gile and Corey going at it on this left-hand side. Demise is going to fall with the backdoor from Danny, and Albert might be able to collect these gems and put the countdown for Cream, but he falls!
No! Wow! That's incredible. What a comeback coming in here from Nova. 9 gems, and there almost was the 10th gem. This is an incredibly close game here. Demise trying to sneak in to get those gems to start the countdown. He only needs to grab 3 of them and get out, but he's super low in HP right now. There's one of the gems.
Yeah.
He's got to be careful of Danny getting that roll. There's the roll from Danny.
Oh, and he bounces off the wall and doesn't quite get to Demise, and that is going to do it. Cream had absolute domination.
That is very unfortunate there. I think there was a slight mistake coming from Danny and his roll. It really, really looked like Cream was going to take that first win there. I think, honestly, Cream should have won that. They just made a few mistakes, just a small few mistakes, and Nova was able to capitalize on it and take a win.
Yeah, and oh man, Nova was looking very nervous at that point.
Yeah.
And it was the one play where Albert pushed a little bit too far forward, and Spike and Jesse for Nova, I think it was Demise and Super Sai. Yeah, it was Demise and Super Sai. They were able to pinch Albert down in the middle and just take him out, and all the gems spread out. And
I think Albert stayed too long in the center there.
Yes.
I think that was what kind of threw the game for them. But also do want to highlight that Danny was definitely the MVP until that unfortunate mistake coming in from Cream's gem carrier. Because we saw Danny constantly he wasn't in center, but he was keeping and killing the two of Nova's teammates back most of the game. He was definitely the MVP there. I think it was just unfortunate that they ended up losing center, and then it just snowballed from there for Nova.
Yeah, and I think the key, like you said, the key there was Albert pushing a little bit too far forward and staying in the middle a bit too long. It gave Nova the ability to kind of set their position up to just kind of collapse in onto the middle and just completely take it over.
Yeah, definitely. Now, coming into match 2 here, it's still anybody's game because we saw Cream dominating. We saw Nova come back.
Yep.
And the ban is going to be Daryl. Good pick. Good ban pick, in my opinion. Like we said, Daryl is very, very strong in Brawl Ball right now.
Yep, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see that Jessie and Nita combo that we saw a couple times earlier today, just based on the fact that Jessie and Nita work together so well on Brawl Ball.
They do. It's incredibly annoying when the two of them come together. It's like too many of the enemy on the field at one time. So you have the 3 teammates, you have the Nita Bear, and you have the turret. That can be very overwhelming to deal with.
Yeah, and if you can get the Nita Bear in front of the turret, you just have it tanking.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like a gigantic shield soaking up damage. The enemy has to waste attacks on both the turret and the bear. If they're shooting, they also aren't shooting at the actual enemy. They're also not healing up. So that's a great comp coming in there. We might also see Rico as well, because we've seen a lot of good Rico plays coming out of this map. But I think the one to look out for is going to be that Nita Jessie combo.
Yeah, and I think we've seen it quite a bit today, and we've seen it work really well. I think a successful comp could be Nita, Jessie, and Tara.
Yes, Tara's definitely very strong, especially when it comes to late game. We saw it a few matches ago where the Tara brought the turnaround there, but I believe we're hopping into this match of Brawl Ball. Let's see who takes it home.
Yeah, and there we go. Cream is rocking Nita, Jessie, and Tara, and Nova is rocking Nita and Jessie, but they have the Spike as well.
You know, honestly, I might like the Spike pick a little bit better. Tara has been slightly weaker than usual with this latest patch, but both teams are very, very strong. It'll come down to how well does the team synergize together. They cannot make mistakes. Cream cannot make any more mistakes here, but it looks like, unfortunately,
that was
grabbing that first ball.
Yeah, that was a big mistake right there. The thing about Tara as well is she's not that good early game. She's only viable once she has her star power up, or her ultimate attack up.
Yeah, as soon as she gets that super going, like, she's definitely a menace. You got to be careful, but you also, as a Tara, you have to be extremely careful with how you use that super as well. So she's a very risky pick there. I think Spike was just a safer pick. They can still turn this around, but they're being cornered here into their own goal. This might actually be a second goal for Nova, and it is Super Sai sneaking it into the goal.
Oh my goodness, Super Sai getting it through, threading the needle, as they say.
Are we going to see another 3-0? Is this entire tournament going to be 3-0s? Tell me not. So I need Cream to at least get a win here so we can see Snake Prairie. It's all we've been wanting to see this entire tournament.
I know. At the start of the day, we were talking about the different matchups and the different things that Snake Prairie has had pretty much affected it and the composition you play. At the start of the cast, or at the start of the tournament, we were talking about how Bo, with his shortened star power vision from 6 tiles to 4 tiles, and the fact that grass no longer respawns, completely changes the game for how Snake Prairie is played, and we haven't been able to see it once today.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm still holding out some hope for Cream. They're not out of the game yet. We've seen them play incredibly well, and all of Heat 2 here. This could still be their match going into the third one of Heist, being breached too far. Again, like we said earlier, it could be a little bit more of an even playing field, as this is a newer map, so it's not really as established. People aren't going to have as much practice on it. we've been seeing a lot of Pams on here. We saw a Pam ban last time. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Pam again. What do you think? What do you think they're going for as a ban?
I can't really give an opinion because I just looked over and saw it. Daryl's it's Daryl. Daryl is banned yet again.
We've seen a lot of Pam and Daryl bans on this map.
The Daryl ban is really interesting though, because I feel like Pam is way more effective on this map because it has that 3 lanes. The healing station is just so effective when you can position it behind the crates and you can have it hitting 2 lanes at once. Typically we see it with the Brock and the Pam, so those are covered, and then you just have Colt or Piper or whoever you have in that third far lane.
Yeah,
that's the one that's kind of left out to dry in terms of healing station, but Pam has been the most effective on this, and we've seen Daryl banned twice for this map today throughout the day.
Yeah, it is a little surprising. I'm wondering if maybe the thought process for the team is, you know, Pam is very strong, but she could be somewhat replaceable. For example, we've seen Penny replace her, or even a Jessie replace her, whereas Daryl, being kind of like an assassin role in without having to attack anybody, his super just charges over time. That's unique and isn't really replaceable. Bull is not a good replacement on this map.
No.
So I can maybe see the thought process of why they might want to remove that Daryl, you know, instead of going after that Pam, you know. But again, I still think Pam is really, really strong.
Yeah, we've also seen Daryl be really effective on this map. One time he wasn't banned, he was super effective.
Yes, and actually jumping in here, we're seeing both a Penny and a Pam being played here.
Yeah, so completely mirror comps right now. Penny, Brock, and Pam. This time Pam's on the left-hand side, so we've seen Pam in all 3 lanes today.
Yeah, that's incredible. And you know what? This is really cool because each brawler is playing the other mirror brawler in their lane. So this is going to come down to 100% who is the better brawler. I mean, who's the better player of that brawler.
Oh, and look at the damage that Albert was able to get onto the safe. It looks like Demise is going to be pushing up on the left-hand side to get damage onto Cream's safe, and Danny's going to come through and push him back, but Albert continuously getting chip damage. Gillet providing some chip damage as well, and it's going to bring the safe down to 40% for Nova. Cream is looking really strong off the bat right now.
Yeah, they're doing an incredible job. Cream actually is doing an incredible job here, doing some great chip damage.
Yeah, Albert's going to try to push a little bit forward. He's going to end up taking down Corey. Albert is going to get some chip damage onto the safe, gets Pam from the back, and the mortar's going to come down, try to chip away at Brock, and Penny and Pam are doing so much damage to the safe right now.
Really nice. This is incredible control coming in from Cream.
Yeah, Gillet gets the ultimate in, and Cream is going to take it. We see Snake Prairie.
Yes! We get to see Snake Prairie, boys, and Cream still has a chance for the pride of beating Nova. But this is exactly what we saw in Heat 1. We saw that 3-1. So Cream's going to have to give everything they've got to not repeat history.
Yep. So, oh man, Cream was down 2-0. I want to see a reverse sweep.
Dude, that would be incredible.
I want to see the reverse sweep. We've seen 3-0s all day. I'm tired of it. I want to see intense action right here. I want to see some egg champs in the chat right now for the intense action that's about to happen. Oh,
you know, I am so hyped right now. We've been waiting the entire day to see this Snake Prairie map, so let's talk about it. Don't look at the bans.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to be banned on this map?
Honestly, I think Shelly might be banned. With the grass not growing in, Shelly can position herself in different spots onto the map where if anybody walks close to her, she will just obliterate them.
Yes, but the problem is once you break that grass, Shelly could be at a disadvantage. I think we might see either Rico, Brock, or potentially maybe a Piper or a Daryl. Okay, I'm just naming all the brawlers now. I gotta pick one.
Let's go through all 23. 22. Gene can't play it.
I'm gonna say Rico might be banned because Rico, despite there being so much grass, he can kind of get around those corners where that Shelly could hide, for example. So he might be a menace. They might take him out. I don't really know. Do we have a ban yet? Oh my God,
it's Leon. It's Leon. We were both wrong.
We haven't seen Leon the entire tournament.
No, Leon hasn't been played once.
I'm really surprised because I think Leon still is really strong and really viable. I don't think the nerf was enough to knock him out of pro play. I don't understand why we're not seeing him played more.
I'm curious to see if their thought process in this was if there are big patches of grass destroyed and you can kind of transition from one small patch to another patch. Yeah. Is that why they feel like Leon is banned, or Leon is viable for a ban, because they don't want to get backdoored in that situation?
Yeah, I definitely think it's possible. I've seen Leon, when I was in Germany, I saw Leon being played on this map specifically and not really any other maps pretty strongly. I don't really know what is making him so strong here. It might be like you said. I don't know. But because he banned him, we're still not going to see Leon in this tournament probably.
Nope.
I don't know if we're going to be seeing a very kind of tank-heavy comp. I don't think so. I think tanks got nerfed too much, but let's hop in and let's see what these comps are.
Here we go. Let's find out. It looks like Paco, Pam, and Daryl from Nova.
It's like a double healer comp coming in from Nova.
Yeah, and there we do see the bow from Albert, and oh my gosh, Brock just gets melted right off the bat.
Wow, Poco's actually doing a pretty good work out here. There goes the heal. He missed Demise, though, and Corey's going to get taken out.
Oh, Danny might get locked out by Daryl here, and he doesn't, and Danny gets the kill onto Super Sai, and Gile snipes Demise.
Yeah, Nova's looking super strong there, but they just got taken out there, a little bit of mistakes, and now with this, they might be at a little bit of a disadvantage. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back from this. They might have to focus their heals on that Daryl with the roll in here. Let's see if he can do some work. There goes the roll from the Daryl. Can he take anyone out? There goes down the Piper with the 4 stars. Danny trying to run away with the 3 stars, getting taken out as well. Great sweep coming from them. 9 to 10 there. That Piper was able to take him out. That was great. Or was it the bow box?
It was the bow knocked Paco back, and Gile was able to snipe him out with Piper.
Wow, incredible move there. 9 to 10, only 1 star up for Cream.
Yeah, 50 seconds remain, and this is something that I found interesting. Gile used Piper's ultimate to clear out some of the bushes on the right-hand side to kind of mitigate where Nova can sneak up on them.
Yeah, that's great. The only ones that can really sneak up now is Super Sai, but if they keep their distance, even his roll's not going to be long enough for him to kind of effectively reach them. And that's why here he goes. He's sneaking in. All 3 of the enemy focus on him. He's kind of pushing them back into the corner. This could be a problem for them, all being stuck in the corner. There goes the roll by the Daryl. First kill going down. Can they take the bow? The bow just seemed to have given up there. 14-13, incredibly close. Super Sai soaking up some of that damage for Corey.
Oh, Danny not able to get anything. It's 14 to 13. If one brawler goes down for Nova, that's going to do it. But no, Nova is going to hold on, and it will be a 18 to 13 victory.
Wow.
Again, we see a 3-1 victory. So something very interesting to point out right here that Nova's going to have to keep in the back of their heads going into the championship week.
Right.
Cream is the only team that can take games off of them.
Yeah, and they almost took this game as well. They almost took the first game as well.
They did,
this would have actually been Cream's win here. Cream just made a few mistakes. I think Cream needs to be practicing a little bit more just to kind of iron out those kinks a little bit, and then they could definitely still take this away from Nova.
Yeah, so we do have the final results in for you guys. Let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. And it's going to be Nova in first place with 18 points, Cream with 14 points in second place, Tribe with 10 points in third, and Hammers Forge just beating out Apollo's team with 5 points. So the victory for Hammers over Apollo's team locked in their spot in the finals, or the championships, and puts them at 5. So we only have one streamer team coming through to the top 4, and that is going to be Cream Esports.
And that's very interesting because the one streamer team is actually the person that can really put up a fight for Nova.
Yeah, it's one of the, Cream has been the only team to take games off Nova.
I'm hoping to see Cream bring something we haven't seen before from them going into the finals. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something that is that Nova will have to keep an eye out for sure. So again, here are our 4 final teams: Nova, Cream, Tribe, and Hammers. They will be playing for a $1,000 prize pool. Next week, all the matches that we will have being played will be money matches. So these 4 teams are already in the money. They're looking to take home a chunk of that $1,000 prize pool.
That's going to be really exciting. It's definitely going to up the stakes, having money on the line for these 4 teams.
Yeah, when you're playing for money, it's a whole different atmosphere. Like you get that pressure on, and if you don't handle pressure well, then you're gonna be a little shaky. But regardless, these teams are playing for money. They will get a share of the $1,000 prize pool regardless.
Yeah, I think it's interesting you said that, because there is another level of aspect coming in with being a competitive, bringing more nerves to you. And then once you add that money, it's like you double the competitive. It's even more nerve-wracking. So it's going to be who can stay calm and collected through all of this. And I think we've seen Nova do that, and I think we're going to see Nova do that again. But the question is, can any other team come up to that calm and collected that Nova has?
Yeah, so again, that $1,000 prize pool for the Colt Cup. These 4 teams have qualified. The breakdown is going to be 500 for first, 250 for second, 150 for third, and 100 for fourth. So these guys are going to have a brutal matches next week. And oh man, $1,000 prize pool.
That's so much money. I'm so excited to see who's going to win this thing.
That is going to be it's sweet. That's what it is. It's sweet.
Delicious.
Delicious. So once again, Cream, the only team to take games off of Nova. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think Cream can do it. They need to get in there. They need to practice. And hopefully we're going to see something we haven't seen from Cream coming in for the finals. I've been rooting for Cream from the start. I'm going to keep rooting for them. I hope you guys are too. They're kind of like our underdogs. I want them to win. Only streamer team. I'm believing.
Only streamer team. Yep. Oh man. Team. All right, guys. So that is going to do it for Heat 2 of the Colt Cup. We will see you guys next week for these 4 teams. They will battle it out for the $1,000 prize pool. Oh man, the Colt Cup Championships is coming soon. I'm so excited. So excited. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. I appreciate it, and these teams appreciate you guys' support. On behalf of Omelette Arcade, and a special thanks to Razor for the giveaway. And for the Forge League, I'm Full Frontage alongside with my amazing co-host, DLG, Doing Life Gaming. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week for the Colt Cup Championships, where Nova, Cream, Tribe, and Hammers battle it out for $1,000. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.